Hey, trying to get this done before the daylight disappears and I have to use electricity for it. It's going to be kind of discombobulated and not make sense, which is great for a first video in what's hopefully a long series. But I've already been here for 3 days and haven't even started this because it's been non-stop. I've slept like 3 hours in the last week. This is my truck. It's a 73 Ford F100. It has a 360 FE engine in it, I think. We're going to have to look at the crank to make sure that's what's in it. It's kind of potentially a Franken truck. I just spent 4 years in the Navy, and I was in Virginia, and I was getting ready to go home to St. Louis, Missouri, and looked at a U-Haul, and it was like $1,000. So I thought to myself, why not just get a truck for less than that and try to get it there and take it to my dad's house, because my dad is one of those guys, you know, those guys that has done everything, and anything he hasn't done he can figure out. So we never got around to rebuilding a car when I was younger because I was a piece of shit that wasn't interested in it, and fortunately he still likes me a little bit, so we're gonna do it. And hopefully in about 3 months I'm gonna try to do an update like this every day and put it on there, because there's lots of stuff that I'm going to try to do that there's, you know, forums for, or there's like a little bit of a video there, but not a comprehensive. It's people just get rushed, kind of like I am right now, where it's like I've already done stuff, but I didn't document it. That's bad. I'm going to try to not do that. This is all I'm doing. I'm not going to work for a few months. I'm going to try to get this truck. The idea is to get it kind of like a daily driver. It just looks like an old truck, and underneath it, it's all fresh and clean. The body has a lot to be desired. It looks really cool from a distance. Once you get about 10 feet from it, you can tell that it's mostly Bondo rust and Rust-Oleum flat black spray paint. So right now we're going to get into the engine, the drivetrain, the fuel, the cooling system, ignition, and all that, and figure out what we're going to do there, what we got, what we want to do, what the budget is for that, get that all done. So if for some reason I've run out of money there, I have a perfectly good running truck that looks like it just rode straight out of hell, and it can be worse than that. To get it here, I drove it 1,000 miles with no turn signal, with a steering that was trying to kill me the entire time. If I let it go more than 10 degrees like this, it just wanted to throw over. I had a Harley in the back with about 4 or more pounds of stuff, and I had blown exhaust gaskets, and I was leaking about a quart of oil every 100 miles. I just thought it was burning it up or something. Turns out that the fuel pump was half fastened on with one bolt, and it's just been thrown out of there for God knows how long. So that was a mess. What else was wrong? So no turn signals, which is really hard going through, you know, Nashville and Knoxville and Everyville in Tennessee. 40 miles an hour was mind-numbing. So it took me about 36 hours to drive 1,000 miles, and with the truck just trying to kill me the whole way. I'm probably forgetting all kinds of stuff that I wanted to say. This first video is going to be a little bit disorganized because I've been working on the truck for 3 days already, and I'm just going to try to run through where we're at, what we're doing. And then from now on, what I'd like to do is have my dad, who might want to be blurred out and demon voiced because he's afraid of all of you fucking asshole trolls telling him about how wrong he does everything while you're sitting on your ass at home. So I'm probably going to disable comments. Thanks a lot. So, you know, fuck you, asshole. You know who you are. So, you know, fuck off. So each day I'd like to, the night before, have him go through and show me, cause, I mean, I've got some mechanical aptitude, but I've never done anything of this nature at all. So he'll go through and tell me this is what you need to do, what he can expect me to do. Each day before he goes to sleep, he'll show me what I gotta do the next day. I'm gonna get up and do it, and I'm gonna put this camera in the corner and try to just film it all day and then time shrink it into a quick minute where you can see what I did, you know, and then my dad will get home from work and he'll look over the truck and tell me everything that I screwed up because I'm stupid. So hopefully you found this years after I've done this and it's completely done, and it wasn't just this one video making me look like an ass. It's several videos making me look like an ass, which I'm okay with. I'm sure there's some out there already. So from this point on, I'm going to pick up this camera and walk around and just kind of blabber and show you things on the truck. And I've got a couple other videos that I grabbed randomly while I was kind of sleep deprived and doing stuff and thinking, oh hell, I should be recording this, but I didn't have an SD card and the battery died. And so this first video is going to be a little schizophrenic, and then hopefully it cleans up and gets kind of a routine going, you know, for the rest of the videos, and hopefully I keep up with them. Or maybe this is the only one and then you just wonder if the truck ever got built. Alright, well, let's look at it. Okay, so this is Dad's garage, and here's the truck. Most people give their trucks girl names. I think that's stupid. So this is Leroy, and he's had a life. Tailgate's pretty roached. I mean, only a couple people have been able to even get it to open. We already pulled the hood off, pulled the radiator, the easy stuff. We yanked the fan off, got some hoses out. Yesterday we went to the pick and pull and got this front end off of a 2005, what the hell was it? Oh, a Mercury Grand Marquis. Now, these old trucks, if you've watched Fast and Loud, you know, have a frame that is set up just so happens to accept this, and it just bolts right up in there basically with a few little convincing tactics. And I picked this up for like 200 bucks. It'll work 2003 and up for the Grand Marquis, the Lincoln Town Car, and of course the Crown Victoria. The bed, I need a new bed. The truck's main purpose is going to be hauling motorcycles whenever it's needing to haul motorcycles. It's gonna be set up for daily driver, but my bike is my daily driver, and this is going to be for when that's impossible or I need to haul something. So this giant hole that they've cut out of it, and the fact that up here where the bed meets the front, I don't know if you can see or not, but you can see straight down to the ground there, which is, let's just say it's bad. The problem is, it looks straight when you look at it, but if you run your hands, you can tell there's definitely some really super Bondo work going on, and there's some just atrocities that have occurred, like perfectly good, you know, instrument bezel, and somebody wanted to put a really horrible Walmart stereo in it, so naturally what they did was chop that piece of the bezel out for no fucking reason. There's no glove box in there, the seat's pretty trash, the headliner's done. I'm thinking about just pulling everything out, reupholstering the seat, and doing bed liner inside here. Do a layer of, you know, sound deadening stuff. The floorboards are not needing replaced. To get across the country, what I did with this one is I just put some duct tape down and flex sealed it, because I saw a can of flex seal aisle 14 at Walmart, and I always wanted to use it. It sucks, don't buy it. I mean, unless you want to install a screen door on the bottom of your fishing boat, it's pretty worthless. Alright, so hood's off. This is the probably 360. As you can see on the exhaust manifold, which was basically hanging half off from where some genius was trying to put those headers on that were in the back of the truck and didn't realize that these FE engines are a real bitch to get the exhaust manifolds off, because on the bottom bolt down here into the bottom, it just goes into the block and they'll come right out. But these top ones, which you can't even see because I have it so fuckered up, they bolt up through and then just hang loose here out in the elements and get stuck. And you're never going to get them out, especially a 42-year-old truck, without breaking some. And then you've got a nice little week-long project, which was beyond me and I didn't want to do before I took the 1,000-mile trip, so I put several shades of RTV and some putty and just did a really horrible, shameful thing, and it got me across the country, so whatever. So you can see over here how much cleaner this is, because it didn't have that issue. But you can see what I'm talking about with the bolt going up here and just hanging out here. That's going to be a problem for pretty much everybody. We've pulled the radiator out. I'm going to try to find a Lincoln Mark IV fan to put in there to convert it to an electric fan so that it's not running off this pulley. It's just running, keeping it cool. Those things push a ridiculous amount of air. You can get them for $30 at the pick and pull, hopefully. This side is got some really awesome Bondo work on it. One of the main problems we're going to have with this front end is that the Crown Vics and everything have a 5 lug by 4.5 lug pattern, whereas this has a 5.5 lug pattern, so I either need to carry 2 spare tires or get some kind of adapters, or people like to put the Crown Vic rear end in there too, which I refuse to do because it's already got the 9-inch rear end that is not going anywhere. It's simple as hell. You can rebuild it completely drunk and you'll be fine. So this is the mess we have. It's after this I'll throw up some videos. I didn't have this camera ready. My dad was looking over the truck to, I had a bet going on how many times he would say something along the lines of, "God, I can't believe you just drove this 1,000 miles like this." And but all I had was my cell phone and it was freezing up, so you can hear all the audio on that, but the video freezes up. I'll just throw it on the back of this video, just make this the first video, and then the exit of this video will be, you know, me first getting here to St. Louis and showing Dad this fucking nightmare that I brought to his house. This video will be kind of sloppy and lackadaisical, but I'm sure I'll find my groove or give up. So tune in to the next video. Potentially, maybe, video 2 will exist, and it will be me fucking stuff up on Leroy. Don't click like or subscribe because I don't give a shit. Hey, wait. Will you back up to your driveway so we can get that bike off at the ramp easier? Because that driveway is kind of perfect for that, you know what I mean? That's good. So you gonna say it?
I like it.
It likes to run better than it likes to sit still, doesn't it?
Yeah. I don't feel a problem at all with the load.
The steering, though?
The steering is fucked.
Horrible, right? Alright, you want to see? Yeah, man, whatever that is, it wasn't doing it that bad every time I stopped across the country.
Somebody's raised it up in the front end.
Oh, that cheap-ass lift kit thing?
Yeah.
I prefer the opposite, but whatever. I haven't heard it. I can't believe you drove it like this yet.
Well, I won't see a lot of that until we start tearing it apart.
Look at the rear shocks I'm talking about.
This is the part I was talking about right here. This part right here. Rust out really bad.
Put those new lines on it.
Somebody's cut the center
Yeah,
fender out.
I saw that.
Air conditioning truck. Air conditioning.
Alright, time for the reveal.
Fan shroud's gone. Those columns run a little bit hot. That. It's weird. I don't remember them going in like that. I thought they were on the top.
See that? Kept all that in the entire time.
Cool.
Didn't burn none of it. What do you think of that? That is... Alright, check it out. There's copper RTV shoved up in there. Once that was good and messy and I was good and drunk, I put a bunch of red RTV on it, and then I got about 7 packets of exhaust putty, and it drove 1,000
What brake
miles.
line did you have to replace?
Both sides, going from the caliper to the metal line.
Oh, the rubber ones?
Yeah. I think it might be catching.
The rod they shove down through every one of them tubes and clean them out.
Yeah.
And then they put the lid back on it, and they resolder all of it back up, and then they put it on a flush thing and blow through it and flush it out from the top to bottom, so all of your tubes are free and clear.
It's easy to fuck up one of them when you're doing that, probably. And
yeah,
this soldering joint.
If you don't know what you're doing. I've seen Ken do it a million times.
I've
never done it myself.
That's my response to you suggesting I had a vacuum issue. Similar down by the transmission.
Well,
it shifted after that. I got a rebuild kit for the car. I know you don't do that, but I'm going to figure that out because that's
I don't think we're going to use that card. I don't want to.
Get it, Edelbrock. Either way, I can rebuild it and sell it for $100.
I would love to squeeze in at the bare minimum at least an aluminum intake kind of 4-barrel electric choke carburetor.
I was thinking that too. That would be one of the pricier
It'd be
chunks.
kind of silly not to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you can find them on eBay used. You know.
Yeah. The idea is to get it basically kind of like, okay, check it out. I'm never going to buy a new car because I don't have the patience or like the willpower to pay that much money for something. So I don't like new cars anyway. Coming down the highway, I kept on thinking to myself, oh, new trucks are fucking hideous, man. They're horrible. And people were stopping me talking about this old piece of shit every time I got gas because it looks cool. So let's just make this into a new 73 with a few modern functions and a little bit less weight. So it's sitting pretty low. Did you notice that?
Good idea.
I have them already.
But they do sometimes, depending on what brand they are, sometimes they make the starters run a little bit hot. And then the problem is you have to pull the damn headers off to change the starter.
These manifolds are roasted and toasted. When you crawl underneath there, you'll see the bottom part of this one is just like rotting away. I think the guy pulled it half off and let it hang there for God knows how long. Because all he used this truck for was to haul his drag car to the strip and back for like 2 years. So he didn't care.
I haven't had any luck finding a used 390 cranking rods. But I haven't called local salvage yards.
Rock Auto has them new. I'd rather just if I'm gonna convert it anyway, I'd rather do it. So I didn't like this whistling, so I put down some duct tape. Flex Seal was in the cigarette aisle at Walmart.
It worked.
This seat
covered up your pee hole.
See how flat and gross this seat is? So these were $2 each at Walmart, and I had all that shit in there next to me.
Oh Jesus! They painted the inside too.
Yeah, that's just I need to pull all the interior out and just sand the entire fucking. It'll take me days to get the whole thing sanded down.
Actually, it ain't too bad.
See what I mean by they ripped that bottom part of this thing here by the radio?
What's that push button down there?
That's the dimmer switch. The reveal on the load? You got a knife on you? I don't know where mine's at. Here's some scissors. Dude, it has so much space in there I could put 2 bikes. As long as they're Sportsters. Like a bike is meant to be.
One bike. 2 Sportsters makes 1 bike.
I'm probably going to sell this